All right, sorry, having issues with the camera here. This is bogus. Okay, what you can see here is the I found the source of the issue with my truck. This is where the drive shaft is supposed to be for the four-wheel drive front half. The screws let loose, or the U-joint broke and then the screws let loose or something, and it got worse and worse. You can see where the side of the transmission bell housing's kind of chewed away. And I didn't notice because I didn't know what I was looking at, but this right here is in all likelihood the cause of my issues. I got under here today to look. You can see it runs right up to there. That's not supposed to do that. It's got charring, it's been arcing, and I think it finally got eaten away to the point where it just couldn't keep any connection. And basically has caused my, this is Bank 1 Sensor 1, which means that my whole driver's side of the V8, that's called Bank 1, has basically either been getting too much fuel and not able to fire, or it's just not been operating. The spark's been there. I've checked all all of the ignition coils, and they're all working, getting spark and arcs when I pull the cables off. But the injectors didn't seem to be working, and this is part of the fuel system. This measures the oxygen before the cat, and then I'm not going to try and position my phone because it's going to end up doing that stupid I didn't hit the button, but it's going to act like I did thing and cut off the video, and that's already happened once. That's why I'm not doing this walking from the front of my house, because I already did that and got under here and was explaining. So basically, I had a guy inform me how to do the ECM reset without using the fancy scanner to get the relearn on that crankshaft sensor. And I kept getting code for this sensor, and I didn't know which one was which, and I wasn't ready to get there yet. And a guy the same dude that told me how to do that had said, well, that could be a normal thing for it just firing everything back up and relearning or whatever. But it turns out that this thing got completely bashed because the thing that broke off from there was like, oh my gosh, get out of my face plants. This thing here was like blah, 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 and so it bashed that pretty bad. And that would explain why the last day that I had to go into town, it got worse and stayed worse, is that I think that's the point at which the broken piece completely let loose and bashed that, and then I parked it for about 2 weeks before, or longer, before the ground was not icy and snowy, that I was able to get under here and remove the piece. And at that point, I didn't really notice what was up with that. And fuel system stuff up until now has been very mystified for me, so learning more things. But yeah, so that is the issue, I believe. I'm going to have to replace, from that plug there all the way to there, the part for that after tax is $78.10. I do have the money for that in the bank, so I'm going to be hobbling this thing one more time to work. This is getting about 2 miles a gallon right now. It's really bad. I had to borrow money from the manager to make sure that I have gas to look at everything and get where I'm going. But this way, basically, I just have to I have to work in the morning, 5:30 on Monday, and I will be getting off about 11 or 11:30, and at that point, drive straight on flat ground off of the main highways to Burlington and get to the parts store after I get through the bank, since they will be open, and I do in fact have just enough money to get this covered and have a little bit left over. So anyways, this is really good news. I don't think there's any reason to inspect any of the other sensors, because this is the only one that got physically assaulted by a broken part. You'd see me take the part off and replace the, I don't know if you can see it or not, replace the yoke after I'd taken everything off of it. I don't have four-wheel drive at this point, but otherwise it runs. But with this thing here, basically, this is what's coming off the exhaust and is telling it that it's not getting any readings, or it's getting malfunctioning readings. And when I replace this should make all the difference, I hope. And thankfully, this is a very simple operation here. I don't really have to go trace up too far into anything else. But yeah, so now it's just kind of the waiting game. I got to chill out all weekend here now. Can't really go to town for anything else because I know what's wrong with it. I'm going to be bugging out the whole time. Like, I'm driving on that. I know what it's doing. Like, this thing was throwing sparks out of that little broken spot dead center. It's like red sparks, and we don't want that. So, yeah, after everything else that I've tried to figure out what the heck was going on, that seems to be what is actually going on. And, yeah, so come Monday, I should get that replaced fairly easily. The only issue is sometimes these things get a little seized up in place. End up having to either blowtorch it or a bunch of WD-40 and warm the vehicle up. And unfortunately, the other issue with it is to put WD-40 on that. I don't think it's flammable, but I don't want to really put that to the test. So I think what's probably going to end up happening is I'm going to get the torch out, clip all the wires off of this, heat that bad boy up until the outer part expands, and just wrench it, I guess. So anyways, I just wanted to share that I actually think I figured out what the issue is. Like I said, again, it's not supposed to do that. If I can find where my other sensor is here, I will show you, but I don't know if this thing's gonna have errors. I don't even see them over there. Anyways, yeah, that appears to be the problem, though. The other ones, they stick out perpendicular to the pipe, and like that one is not. There's not supposed to be any bend after the little bolt piece on there. So that seems to be the issue. Very happy because I am tired of messing with this, and it's becoming a real nuisance that I'm basically able to get my bills partially paid, and I'm effectively just putting all other money that should be going toward food or other things to save up for into gas for this thing to run, and it's also not good for the truck.